Hello everyone and welcome back to Cowboys Insiders, your ultimate destination for everything surrounding the legendary Dallas Cowboy. No matter where you are watching from around the world, we are truly glad to have you here today. This is more than just a channel, this is a community which build for passionate fans who live and breathe football, which is NFL. Those who analyze every plan, every decision, and every move which made in the National Football League. Here on Cowboys Insiders, we don't just talk about the headlines, we go deeper. We break down the strategy and we explore the possibilities, and we give you the kind of insight that keeps you one step ahead to everyone else. So if you are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notification so you never miss an update. And to everyone who has already subscribed, thank you for being part of the growing the family. Your support means everything and it's what keep this channel going strong. Now let's talk about why this moment is important for the Dallas Cowboys. Every season brings a new expectations, a new challenges, new opportunities, but this off-season and NFL draft feels different. There is a sense of urgency, a feeling that this team is right now, right on edge of something special. The talent is there, the foundation is strong, but the question remains, what is the missing piece that can take these teams all the way? That's exactly what we are here to figure out. You can expect in a depth coverage of everything happening with the Dallas Cowboys, from the breaking news and trade rumors and player analysis and full game breakdown. We will be diving into a key moment, spotlighting rising stars, and discussing the discussions that could shape the future of the franchise. And right now, all eyes are on the biggest event of the off-season, the NFL draft. This is where a team are built, where the future are decided, and where the next generation of stars begins their journey. For the Cowboys, this draft could be turning points. The light picks could elevate these teams into a true championship contender, and the long ones could leave fans asking what if all over the games. This is your place for a little conversation, a little opinions, and a little passions for a game. So stay tuned, stay engaged, and most important, stay ready, because the journey is just getting started and you don't want to miss a single moment. So the off-season is always defining a period for every team in the National Football League, but for the Dallas Cowboys, these moments feels even more critical. As the 2026 NFL Draft started, the franchise found itself standing at crossroads between continuing as a competitive team and finally transforming into a true championship contender. Over the past few seasons, the Cowboys have shown a flashes of brilliance, but they have also struggled with inconsistency, especially in the biggest moments. So that is why this draft is not just another year event for the Dallas. It is an opportunity to reshape the identity of the team and build a stronger foundation for the futures. At the heart of the Cowboys' current situation is their quarterback, Dak Prescott. Prescott remains one of the most important figures in the franchise, a leader with experience and the ability to guide the offense when everything is functioning properly. However, even the best quarterback in the league cannot succeed without a light support around them. In a recent season, Prescott has faced a pressure due to offensive line that has not been dominant as it once was. Injury urging players and inconsistencies have weakened what used to be one of the strongest units in football. This has had direct impact not only on Prescott's performance but also on entire of offensive system. The running game is another area where the Dallas Cowboys have experienced a noticeable decline during a prime years of Ezekiel Elliott, and the team had powerful and reliable rushing attacks that could control the tempo of the game. Today, what some level of dominance is missing. While there have been moments of promise, there is no clear long-term solution at the running back position. In the modern NFL, where offensive balance is a key, having a dynamic running back who can both run effectively and contribute in the passing game is essential. This makes the draft perfect opportunity for the Dallas Cowboys to address these needs and inject a new energy into the offense. When it comes to a passing game, the Cowboys are fortunate to have a true star like CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb has established himself as one of the top wide receivers in the league, capable of making a big plays and carrying significant portions of the offensive load. However, relying too heavily on a single receiver can make an offense predictable. Defenses can adjust their strategies to limit Lamb's impact, forcing other players to step up. This is why adding another wide receiver through a draft could be a crucial move. A fast and explosive players who can stretch the field would not only complement a Lamb but also create more opportunities for the entire offense. On the defensive side of the ball, the Cowboys have one of the most exciting players in the NFL in the Micah Parsons. Parsons has the ability to change the outcomes of the game with his speed, strength, and versatility, and he is kind of player every team dreams to build around. However, football is a team sport, and even a player of the Parsons caliber cannot do everything alone. The Cowboys' defense, while strong in certain areas, still lacks a depth and consistency in others, and strengthening the defensive line and adding a talent to a secondary could significantly improve the overall performance of the unit. As the NFL draft draws closer, the strategy of the Dallas Cowboys become a topic of intense discussions. One passing approach is to focus heavily on the offensive line, selecting a player who can immediately step in and provide protection for a Dak Prescott. Another approach would be to prioritize skills positions, such as running back or wide receiver, in order to create a more explosive offense. There is also the option of selecting the best player available regardless of position, strategy that can sometimes lead to unexpected but valuable addition to a team. The Cowboys could also consider trading down in the draft, a move that would allow them to acquire additional picks and build a depth across a multiple position. This approach requires careful planning and clear understanding of the team's long-term goals. While it may not provide an immediate impact from a single star player, it can create more balanced, and complete roster over time. Ultimately, the success of this draft will depend on decisions made by the Cowboys front office and coaching staff. So every pick carries a certain level of the risk, but it also represent an opportunity. The difference between good teams and the great ones after comes down to how well franchise can identify and develop talent through the draft. For the Cowboys, this is a chance to address their weaknesses, reinforce their strength, and take significant steps forward. Looking ahead, the impact of the 2026 NFL Draft could shape the future of the Dallas Cowboys for years to come. A successful draft could elevate the team to a new level, turning them into a serious contender capable of making a deep playoff runs. On the other hand, missed opportunity could result in continued frustration and unfulfilled potential. This is what makes the draft such a pivotal moment in the NFL calendar. As fans wait to see how everything unfolds, one thing is certain: the Cowboys have a pieces to complete, but they need the right addition to complete the puzzle, and the decision they make in this draft will not only influence the upcoming season but also defining the direction of. And the most importantly, this channel is not just about us, it's about you. Your opinion, your reactions, and your passions are what make this community special. So we want to hear from you every single time. Do you believe the Cowboys are building a Super Bowl team? I'm asking you fans, and let's meet in the comment section to answer these questions. Do you believe the Cowboys are building a Super Bowl team? The second is, what moves do you want to see next, and what should they draft? And drop your throat the comment, because your voice matters here more than anywhere else. We are on missions to grow one of the strongest Cowboys fans community on YouTube, and you are huge parts of the journal. So if you love the Dallas Cowboy, and if you like to breathe football, and if you want a really consistent and exciting content, then you are the right place here. The Dallas Cowboys in the NFL draft of 2026 draft is one of the urgency, ambition, and calculated risk. As the draft unfolds, it has become increasingly clear that this is not just another routine roster building exercise for the Dallas. This is defining moment that could shape the franchise's future for years to come in the Dallas Cowboys. For the months leading up the draft, speculation surrounded what approaches the Cowboys would take. Would they play it safe and build a death? Or would they go all in, targeting an elite prospect who could immediately transform the team into a Super Bowl contender? So now, as events develop, the answer seems to lean heavily toward aggressions and bold decisions making. At the center of it all, owner Jerry Jones, the figure known across the league for his willingness to take risks in pursuit of the greatness. This year, his influence is once again evidence. So, report from inside of the Cowboys organization, it suggests that Jones has been heavily involved in the draft. In the draft discussions, pushing for impact players rather than conservative selections. His vision is clear: a Dallas must not only compete but dominate other teams in the NFL this year. One of the most talked about areas for the Cowboys in this draft has been The offense, despite having a proven quarterback in Dak Prescott, the team recognizes that more firepower is needed. In today's NFL, explosive offenses win championship, and Dallas is determined to keep pace with a league elite. As a result, the front office has been closely monitoring wide receiver and offensive playmaker who can stretch the field, create mismatches, and turn short plays into big gains. Insiders have revealed that the Cowboys have shown a serious interest in dynamic receiving talent. So players with a narrowed speed, precise route learning, and the ability to perform under pressure. The goal is to give Prescott another weapon who can change the game at any moment, forcing defenses to adjust and opening up opportunities across the field. But offense is only half the story. The Cowboys' defense, anchored by superstar linebacker Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is already one of the most feared units of the league. However, the front office believes that adding the light pieces could elevate it to an entirely new level. So the edge rushers, a shutdown corner, and versatile defensive backs are all being evaluated as potential targets. Parsons in particular has become the centerpiece of the defensive strategy, and his ability to disrupt offenses, pressure quarterback, and make game-changing plays has made him one of the most valuable players in the entire NFL. The Cowboys' draft strategy appears focused on surrounding him with complementary talent, players who can capitalize on the chaos, and he creates and turns it into a turnover and defensive dominance. Perhaps the most intriguing aspect of the Dallas draft activity is the possibility of the trades. So throughout the day, rumors have intensified that the Cowboys are actively exploring deals to move up with the draft order. So this is not just something Dallas goes lightly, which makes the situation even more compelling. Moving up would likely to require sacrificing valuable picks, but the rewards could be landing a generational talent. League sources suggest that the Cowboys have identified a small group of prospects they consider they must have players. So if one of these players begins to slide, Dallas could make a bold move to secure them. These approaches reflect a franchise that understands the importance of inherent talent and is willing to pay the price to get it. At the same time, the Cowboys are being careful not to overlook the importance of the depth. So later rounds of the draft are expected to focus on building a stronger and more balanced roster. Offensive linemen and linebackers and the rotational defensive players are all on the radar of the Dallas Cowboys. So these selections may not generate headlines, but they are crucial for sustaining a success over a long NFL seasons. So another key factor influencing the Cowboys' decision is evaluating process. Coaches and scouts of the Dallas Cowboys have spent countless hours analyzing a game film and conducting interviews, and also assessing the character of each prospect. For the Dallas, talent alone is not enough. They are just looking for players who bring a leadership in a team, discipline, and winning mentality, qualities that align with the culture of the team is trying to be weird. So as the draft continues, reaction from the fans and analysts have been intense. Every pick is scrutinized, every decision debated. Cowboys fans, known for their passions and high expectations, are watching closely, hoping that this year's draft will finally bring the missing pieces needed for a deep playoff run or even championship. The stakes could not be higher. The NFC is loaded with the strong team, and the margin for error is laser thin. One great draft can propel a team to top, while a poor one can set it back for the years. So the Cowboys are full aware of this reality, which is why their approach this year feels different, more aggressive and more focused and more determined well. By the end of the 2026 NFL Draft may be remembered as the turning point for the Dallas Cowboys, whether through the board trades, smart selection, or combination of both, and the decisions made during this event will define
on
the
5
direction
years,
of the franchise.
which will worth about
For now, all
50
eyes
million
remain on the Dallas. The
2026.
picks are being made, the
Thompson
board is
feels a
shifting,
major need
and the
in a
future is
secondary
being
for the Cowboys.
written in a really
He has been full-time startup
and
at
if
the past
the
5
signs
seasons
are
with
any
Arizona, and
indications, the
also
Cowboys
has
are
9
ready to make
care interceptions. He can fill a multiple roles for a new coordinator, Christian Parker, and has familiarity on the coaching staff with a new corners with a coach Ryan Smith. The Cowboys need communicator in the secondary, and the Thompson can make sure everybody is one of the same page. He is a young, turning 28 in July, but has an experience to help a secondary grow in a Dallas Cowboys. Next is Kobe Durant. Kobe Durant is joining a Dallas Cowboy on 1 year's deal which will worth about $6 million. Durant started 39 of 61 games in his 4 years with the Rams and they recorded 7 interceptions and returning 2 for touchdowns. Between 5 and 11 foot and 181 pounds, he is not a large cornerback, but he has shown the ability to match up well with a bigger receivers. The Cowboys have questions on the position with Dallon Bland and Shavon Levers Jr. and Corin Carson playing through injuries last year, and the Bland is rehabbing from off-season foot surgery. The Cowboys hope Rivera will make a secondary year jump after missing the first 9 games last season, recovering from a torn ACL. This means Dallon was on rehabilitation and recovering from ACL injury. Durant has some experience playing in a slot, which could be a bonus for the Cowboys, but his addition would not prevent them from selecting a corners with one of their first 2-round picks in upcoming NFL draft mocks. Then also, the Sam Williams, he is the defensive end in re-upping on 1 year deal, which will worth about $3 million US. The former Cowboys second round picks return on low cost and low risk move. He had 1 sack last season after coming back from a torn ACL. And starting 5 of 17 games, he has credited with 38 tackles and 25 pressures and 6 tackles for loss, a fumble recovery and forced fumble. He had 8.5 sacks in the first 2 years before the injury. So perhaps a change in a scheme under a Packer can up his pass rusher production in 2026. While the trade of Lashan Gully means more, more for the defense, signing Williams shouldn't take the Cowboys out of adding more help in free agencies or using one of their top picks on pass rusher in the NFL draft. So, Dallas Cowboys also agreed 1-year deal with a maximum of $3 million with a former Charger, Otito Agbonia. Defensive tackles doesn't seem like a major need when the Cowboys already have Quinnen Williams, Ken Duck, and Solomon Thomas. Also plus 2025 draft picks J. Toia. But Agonia can play a role. A Packer wants to keep a fresh rotation of linemen in his defense. Ogbonia was limited to 9 games last season because of injury, but he had 14 pressures and a half sack. He has started 20 career games and 81 tackles. Between 6 foot and 4 and 320 pounds, he has a size to help a bolster on the front. PG Loki, the former Broncos safety, will join also Dallas with 1-year contract. Catch up on NFL free agencies, top remaining players, and grading deals, ranking 32 classes, and lingering questions, and every team signing more reactions. After agreeing to deal with a Thompson on Monday, Aloki is a second safety to be brought aboard. The Cowboys reworked the deal for one of the last year's startup, Malik Hooker, and have Max Kisbell on roster. So the safety group looks filled out. Aloki started 26 games in 6 years in Denver, and he had an interception in the Broncos playoff win versus a Buffalo in this year in January. If the Cowboys believe a Thompson can play the nickel spot full-time, that opens up opportunities for a Aloki, who has 174 tackles and 7 tackles for a loss in his career. At the very least, he brings a veteran depth and also can be a core special teamers in the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys didn't really need another quarterback with last year's loan. So Dak Prescott and Joe Milton III and Will Glee under contract, but they brought on fourth arm Howell, who ended last season with Philadelphia after spending time with Minnesota, made the first start of his career against the Cowboys in 2022, while with Washington, and got the wins. For his career, he has recorded 22 touchdowns, passes, and 23 interceptions. So can he compete for the backup jobs held by Milton last season?